All right, guys, you want to know what we're doing right now? We are doing the pre-shower post-sprint. I sprinted. I almost died in the sun, but I'm okay. I don't want to do this before I suffer from heat stroke. So we have a Charizard base set, first edition, BGS 9. Now, the edges and the corners were a 9.5, and the edges and the corners were a 9, 9.5 centering, and 8.5 for the surface. But that still got $13,800. There's a bunch of Charizards in here. We'll get through them, I promise. But there's the long ones. I'm going to be really, really quick. Blastoise. German Blastoise, first edition PSA 10, sold for $5,825. German Blastoise, base set, first edition PSA 10, 5825. T17, first edition BGS 9. 9 for the centering and surface, and 10 for the corners and edges. So I think it should be 9.5, but like, this only sold for $1,009, or $1,009. This totally should have, minimum $1,500 in my opinion. If I had the money, I would have done that. I would have bought it. Moltres, first edition PSA 9, sold for $231. Dark Dragonite, there's two of them that sold, first edition PSA 9. One was for $259. The other one sold after that for $270. And we had an 8 sell for $163. Shadowless Charizard, I don't know how I said Shadowless. Charizard, first edition, PSA 7, sold for $7,000. We had a Skyridge Charizard, reverse hollow. This one was interesting because it was the top 3 bids were $500, makes sense, for a PSA 7 Skyridge Charizard. Then the top 2 bids were $900 and $910, which would have definitely been a record price. But I don't know if it was shill bid or people just like, wait a minute, this is only a PSA 7, not a PSA 9. So that's why it didn't sell for like the person who won it did not pay, so it got relisted. We had a Brock's Ninetales first edition PSA 10, sold for $379. Giovanni's Gyarados first edition PSA 7, sold for $66. And a Misty's Golduck first edition PSA 9, sold for $255. Misty's Golduck, nice. Squirtle base set first edition PSA 10, sold for $650. Aquapolis Nidoking, Crystal Nidoking, beautiful card. PSA 8, hollow. Top 4 bids were $375, $504, $525, and $535. They had a Blaine's Arcanine first edition PSA 10. This had a cracked case. Not that someone tried, no, it just had a crack on the back. Even still, the top 3 bids were $1150, $1455, and $1480. Had this not been a cracked case, this would have sold for $1,800 minimum. But it sold for $1480. Then we have a first edition PSA 8 Blaine's Arcanine, sold for $285. So the Blaine's Arcanine, $1480 PSA 10 with a cracked case, and an 8 sold for $285. Kabutops first edition PSA 9 sold for $102. Gengar first edition PSA 9, first edition sold for $261. Kind of low for that card. And then a Haunter, which is kind of record price for the Haunter first edition PSA 9, sold for $436. Dark Magneton first edition PSA 9 sold for $135. Misty's Gyarados first edition PSA 9 sold for $202. A complete set. All right, so Gym Challenge has these victory medals from 2009. That's just what the tournament was called that they were in. You know, you have 3rd place, 2nd place, and 1st place. Before the one at auction sold, my set of 1st, 2nd, 3rd, all PSA 10 sold for $600. And then the auction sold for $660. Like, I should have held out, but I didn't. I have another set I'm going to list probably the next couple days. I'll do for like $1,000 or best offer, and I'll field offers at 7 because I feel salty. Chansey first edition PSA 9 sold for $1,525. Ninetales first edition BGS 9. All the subgrades were a 9 except for the surface, which was a 10, which is incredible. Sold for $910. Shadowless Charizard PSA 9. Love this card because I have it in a BGS 9. The top 5 bids were $3,450, $3,900, $3,900, $4,001, and $4,001. So a lot of competition for that card. Someone loves a clean 9. And again, my BGS 9, all the subgrades are a 9 except for one thing is a 9.5. Forget what it was. So that'd be about comparable to this. Really cool card. Charizard, base set unlimited, PSA 9, sold for $907. Zapdos base set, first edition BGS 9.5. Oh god, here we go. I'm going down. Okay. All of them were 9.5 subgrades except for the corners, which was a 10. Sold for $3,550. This is the dedication I showed to my YouTube fans. I had 70 subscribers. I had 69, so I was like, hey, 69 subscribers. Then I had 70, and then 2 of you bitches unsubscribed. Now I only have 68. So 69 is a really cool number, but the next goal after that is 420 for reasons. Kangaskhan, first edition PSA 9, sold for $195. Vaporeon from Jungle Set as well, first edition PSA 9, $415. I love that card. Has gone through the roof the last couple months. Articuno First Edition PSA 9 sold for $276. Dragonite First Edition BGS 9.5. There's been a lot of BGS lately. Really cool. Everyone was a 9.5, again, except for the Surface, which got a 10. So this is a really cool card. $1,450. I like that. Rockets Moltres First Edition PSA 9 sold for $243. Sabrina's Gengar First Edition PSA 9. I do not like this because the fourth bid was $426. Cool, cool. Then $700, then $720, and the winning bid was $724 with someone that had 0 feedback. So that's Sabrina's Gengar First Edition PSA 9. Sale, I don't know if I'm going to count that. All right, Blaine's Charizard. There's a fuck ton of these. We have a First Edition PSA 9 sold for $1,375. Okay, then I'm just doing these in chronological order from when they happened. So that one sold $1,375. Then we had a 10. First Blaine's Charizard First Edition PSA 10 sold for $4,350. Not a record price point because one sold for $4,500 the other day, but this is still really right up there. Then we had 2 more Blaine's Charizards, First Edition PSA 9s. After those 2, they sold for $1,200 and $1,050. So I don't know if someone was sent offers, someone made best offers and they just took it because they wanted to, but it was a little bit of a descending trend. Then we had another Blaine's Charizard First Edition PSA 10. After those 4, this sold for $4,500 again. So the last 3 were $4,500, $4,350, and $4,500 again. Lots of movement on these Blaine's Charizards. And then we had another one, Blaine's Charizard First Edition PSA 9, and this one went for $1,395. Remember when I said that as these get to $1,400, you're going to see moves to over 4K, or well over 4K with the Blaine's Charizard at $4,200? I was 100% correct. $4,500, $4,350, another $4,500. We had another 4K like a few days ago. But a lot of movement with the Blaine's Charizards. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe part of the reason anyone's following the PWCC auctions, First Edition BGS 9.5 Charizard base set, it's at like 100K right now. Do I believe that is really worth 100K? No, because up until like 60 grand, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But there's a bunch of a couple of the bids, they had like 0 feedback and 1 feedback. That's not, and then now like the top 2 bids are like, okay, they have 5 and 8 feedback. Okay, but that's very, very fishy. I don't think that sale is going to go through. I really don't. Maybe that's me being cynical. Maybe it could just be like 2 people just like, hey, you know what? I'm making this eBay thing. I'm making this eBay account just to buy this card because that's what I want. And that's very possible. Moving on. Lugia First Edition PSA 9 sold for $2,025 from Neo Genesis. Espeon from Neo Discovery, record price point. First Edition PSA 9 sold for $695. We had one sold for $610 the other day, now for $695. I think the Dark Espeon from the other Neo set, that's over $700 right now. We had a Shining Charizard, First Edition BGS 9.5. Everything was 9.5 except for the edges, which was a 10. I did not write that price point down. I'm so sorry. And this is before I sprinted, so this wasn't like a... sorry about that. Crystal Charizard, holographic, not First Edition, but Crystal Charizard, holo, PSA 10. The top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bids. All right, so we had $5,900, $7,000, $7,100, $7,250, $7,550, $7,600 for Crystal Charizard PSA 10. I believe that is a record price point by a long shot. Brock's Rhydon, First Edition PSA 8, sold for $68. I'm sorry about that Shining Charizard. Just eBay search, Shining Charizard, BGS 9.5 First Edition, most recent sale. That it was a record price point. All right, University Magikarp, Unicarp PSA 5. Top 5 bids were $4,000, $4,500, $4,650, $5,000, $5,100. So a lot of competition for that Unicarp, even at the low grade. There's just, yeah. And then the Dark Blastoise First Edition PSA 9. Got a very low price of $285 because they were only showing the front picture. They were not showing the both sides, so that's why it's got that. Okay, guys, I'm going down. I'm literally going down. All right, I gotta go. I love you. I'm gonna take a cold shower. I love you all. All right, bye.